Welcome into another edition of The Verdict. I'm your host, Sean Brace from PhillyYoungster.com. Today, my co-host from PhillyYoungster.com, doing great work in the community. Last night, unbelievable job on 4th and John.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Adrian Fedke. Good afternoon, Adrian.
Oh, I'm doing great. Yeah, a lot of fun last night. And, well, we're talking some Embiid right from the bat. I know you're really upset about this. You're furious. Embiid is sitting tonight. First time he's sitting a home game, too.
Yeah, it's frustrating. Look, here's what I know about the 76ers. I've been on board for the last 4 or 5 seasons. I've been a diehard Sixers fan. I moved here in 2004 with that in mind, that I was going to be able to go to many Sixer games. I put Sixers above Eagles and Phillies for myself, to each their own. And I've been there, for the last 3-4 seasons, throughout the heartaches and the BS and the tanking. I was okay with the MCW trade. I was okay with the Saric move instead of drafting Dougie P. I was, okay with trading Drew Holiday. Across the board, it seems like I've been just siding with this franchise anytime a situation ever presents itself. But today, and here's why I'm upset, because it absolutely hits home. First of all, PhillyYoungster.com is having our Sixers outing tonight, something that we planned 2 months ago. And I looked at the calendar, and I saw that they're playing the Houston Rockets on Monday. I saw that they played this past Saturday. So I said to myself, okay, Joel Embiid will play tonight versus the Wizards. We were told off the jump that he was not playing back-to-backs. Well, they did not play tonight, or last night. They're playing tonight, and they're playing tomorrow. And the Sixers choose, and they drop it on their fan base today, the day of the game, that they're going to sit Joel Embiid and play him tomorrow against the Timberwolves on national television, on TNT. And, I mean, look, we all could sit here and say we understand it, but don't tell me it's not BS. And that's why I'm frustrated, because as a guy that spends hard-earned money, a guy that bought 8 tickets for tonight's game, a guy that tried to plan an outing, you can't plan an outing the day of, a guy that has season tickets. Yeah, sure, I sound like I'm whining, but I have an honest gripe here. I think you have to be realistic about that.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. And, for the national fans, they want to see Karl Anthony Towns versus Joel Embiid. And just to read off this tweet from Brian Seltzer, I'm not playing devil's advocate, I'm only doing it for this show. So Brian Seltzer from the Sixers, he says, Embiid resting tonight follows a pattern of individualized workload program in which he's alternated games, had game, then 2 days of rest. Yeah. So what do you have to say about that?
Look, I think that there's something to be said about that. I get that. But, here we are in November. Joel Embiid looks fine.
Yeah.
Am I asking you to remove the minute restriction? No. Am I asking you to all of a sudden play back-to-back nights? No. But what I am asking you is to take care of the fans that have been there since day one. Yeah. To take care of the fans that have struggled to buy the tickets, to fight the fight for the people that have been ripping on us in the national media and have had your back. And the one time that all we're asking for you is to play Joel Embiid in the games that you said he's going to play, and I won't complain. Yeah. If Joel Embiid does not play tomorrow night versus the Minnesota Timberwolves, is anybody saying anything?
No.
They changed it up.
Do you really think people are watching that game tomorrow? Timberwolves and Sixers?
I think they will now. But I don't give a damn about other people. I care about the Philadelphia 76er fan base. Yeah. And that team, they slid this decision in today. You could have been honest about it and dropped it last week. You could have been honest with it and dropped it 2 weeks ago and said, just so you know, we said he's not playing back-to-backs. That doesn't mean he's going to play. That doesn't always mean he's going to play the second game of the back-to-back. It could mean the first game. And then, okay, you're dropping a hint. Yeah. But there was no breadcrumbs dropped. It was just a day of, oh, by the way, did you buy tickets to tonight's game? Guess what? Joel Embiid's not playing. And there's not much else to watch when the Sixers take the floor. So I'm upset. I'm pissed off. I think a lot of Sixer fans are. I think there's a lot of Sixer fans that are okay with this decision. I don't know why you would be.
There's contrarians out there that they want to sound a little bit smart.
Eyes on the prize. I'm pissed off. Oh, well, I'll get over it.
All right, let's talk some Eagles now.
Moving on.
Just beat the Falcons 4-0 at home. Obviously, completely different when they're at home opposed to the road. So now they're in Seattle this week on Sunday. Back on the road. What are your thoughts on that?
It's a tough spot, that's for sure. I think Seattle might be the toughest team in the NFL right now, the hottest team in the NFL. Who you got? You got Dallas or you got Seattle?
Well, I have Dallas number one in my power rankings, but if I had to choose who's going to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl, it's Seattle.
Yeah, so then how are you going to have them number one in your
Because the power rankings are weird how it works.
Ebbs and flows.
Yeah, it's like the college football rankings. If you're undefeated, you're going to be number one.
Okay.
Even though you're ahead of maybe somebody with.
If Seattle and Dallas was to play right now, NFC Championship game is tomorrow night.
I'm taking Seattle without even thinking about it.
In Dallas?
Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah.
That defense.
Yeah.
That defense is for real. I think in like the last 5-6 seasons, they've been number one as far as scoring defense in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Consistency every single year. That Seattle team is amazing. Look, the Eagles at home, I don't know, Adrian. I don't know. They seem more focused. I know that they're 4-0. They beat really good squads. The Atlanta Falcons is not Sam Bradford and the Minnesota Vikings.
No.
All right, that's Julio Jones. It's a damn good run game. That's Matt Ryan putting up MVP numbers. He's on pace to throw for over 40 touchdowns and 7 interceptions this year. That's MVP type numbers. And the Eagles shut him down. Looked really good. They were focused. If they get that same effort matched, combined with Seattle being really high off of that win, you never know.
Well, that's the best thing that could have happened for the Eagles. Super Bowl revenge. They exacted revenge on Sunday night against the Patriots. So coming back home, maybe they have a letdown. We shall see. That's probably just our hopefulness coming into play there, our bias and stuff. But it's not going to be easy for whatever reason. When they're at home, they really get after the quarterback. Matty Ice, he met his defrosters on Sunday.
Hey-oo.
Yeah. So now can they finally do it on the road? Because they couldn't do it against Eli. They did a little bit against Dak.
Yeah.
But it hasn't been consistent. And they really got to bring it because if they don't, those quarterbacks get exposed. It happens every single time.
Yeah, Doug Baldwin's really good. Yeah. Decent run game. Offensive line's a little weak for Seattle. Russell Wilson, we know what he brings to the table, but it's all about that defense.
Yeah.
All right, keeping it going with the Eagles. Big picture, Adrian, right here. You do a great job. Make sure you check out his stuff at PhillyOfficer.com all the time. The game breakdowns, the previews. You do an unbelievable job, and that's not just me blowing smoke up your ass. I'll put you up against anybody in this city. Big picture, Eagles. Obviously, undefeated at home. Struggle on the road.
Yeah.
What are we talking about right now? 5-4, good squad, not a great squad. Wins over the Falcons, wins over the Vikings, wins over the Steelers. Had Dallas on the ropes, should have beat them. Mm-hmm. Giants, whatever, I'm not going to go there. But a good squad. What are we talking about right now with, what do we got, 6 games left, 7 games left in the season? What are we talking about with the Eagles?
They're a good squad that hasn't figured out how to close on the road yet. That's really what it is. It's really what it comes down to. And, maybe, just maybe last week, but the thing that was encouraging for me was the play of the offensive line. That was the best I've seen the offensive line play all season long. Atlanta's defense, maybe not so hot. I get that, but they're really going to have a test on their hands. This Sunday, Seattle, 3.5 yards per carry allowed, which is 3rd in the NFL. So that's going to be real tough. But, Doug's playbook, a lot of different formations, a lot of different running plays. Last year with Chip Kelly, 3, 4, 5 running plays, right? So what's happening here is you got to build that cohesiveness with the offensive line. It takes a while for that timing to get down. And maybe, just maybe, that's what happened last week with Ryan Matthews, Wendell Smallwood, and company. Over 200 yards rushing. We'll see if it translates this Sunday.
Vaitai, unbelievable. For him, the job that he stepped in, everybody was sweating it when he stepped in with the Skins. Looking good so far. Stefan Wisniewski.
He was unbelievable on Sunday.
I mean, what the hell is going on there? You got to lock this guy up. Look, it's not far-fetched to find these guys out the scrap heap and all of a sudden they turn into something. Look at Evan Mathis. Yeah. Look, I'm not going to sit here and say everybody will be that, but Wisniewski right now playing really well, and they're really extremely lucky that they have those guys stepping in because losing Lane Johnson and having to piecemeal the offensive line is no way to go throughout the course of the season.
Yeah, and just really quickly before we move on, Jason Kelce, the thing that I saw on tape, all right, so he can't overpower people. He's not good at pushing people backwards. So Doug was really utilizing his strength on Sunday, having him pull along the boundary. That's what he's good at, his mobility. And when they were using, they were using him for double teams. They were pairing him with Brandon Brooks a lot of the time. So hiding his weaknesses. All right, let's move on. All right, Sean. Everybody was in an uproar yesterday. Phil Jackson, ESPN, the magazine, Collins, the posse
talk. Here we go.
Yeah. Your thoughts on it?
Yeah, look, and for the people who maybe don't know, but it was everything that was yesterday. And I did Fox 39. I did my commentary on this at 11:20. Who's ever doing sports that day gives their 1.5-minute take on whatever's hitting them. They're wide open. They don't care. You can talk about whatever you want. But the problem is 1.5 minutes to discuss this probably isn't my best interest to do. But I did. I went down that road and I kind of went big picture with it. But if I could just hone in a little bit and say I think we are being a little bit sensitive. Easy for the white man to sit here and say that. I get that. I do know that there are code words out there that people do use. But we're talking about this situation right here, right now. Phil Jackson in the ESPN magazine, he talked about LeBron James getting special treatment when he was with the Heat. And he was in a road game in Cleveland. Spoelstra called Pat Riley, which is who Phil Jackson's buddy is. So think about it. This is who's telling him the story. And he said, look, LeBron Spoelstra calls Pat Riley when they're on the plane saying, LeBron wants to stay a night in Cleveland. His mother and his posse are hanging out.
Yeah. That's nothing.
Well, to me, it's nothing. I understand that LeBron and
it's because of what's going on in this country.
I think that absolutely there's truth to it. Plus, when you talk about LeBron James's posse, which is boys, but you got to be honest about it. Rich Paul and Maverick Carter are phenomenal sports agents. They're building one hell of an agency right now. But don't tell me that that's all we're talking about here. Yeah. LeBron James goes back to Cleveland. You're telling me none of his friends were there? Are you telling me it was just Rich Paul and Matt Carter? That's it? Because if that's the case, then it was his coworkers or the people that work for him and his agency. That's fine. I wouldn't take offense to that. But don't tell me that's all that was there. You know darn well that LeBron had one of his boys there, two of his boys, his friends there, whatever it may be. And then I ask you, if Phil Jackson said LeBron and his boys, people would be pissed off. If Phil Jackson said LeBron and his entourage, people would be pissed off. He used posse. He used posse.
You're fired up tonight.
Yeah. You know, I mean,
fired up. I
think we get carried away with some dumb things.
Yeah, I agree.
I know it's a sensitive time, and I understand what they're saying. I get it. But for LeBron James to just come firing out of a cannon saying he has no respect for Phil Jackson, a guy that's been in the league for how many years?
He's a drama queen, too.
LeBron?
Yeah.
You think?
Biggest one in the league.
But he deserves it.
Sure.
Yes, because he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
You know,
he's the GM in Cleveland.
Yeah, you know, I mean, you're talking about special treatment. Is there a general manager out there that wouldn't like to give him special treatment? Of course. Exactly. Good stuff as always.
Absolutely.
We're heading down to the Sixers game tonight. If you see us, make sure you say what up. PhillyInfiltrator.com is in the house. Everybody, thank you very much for checking us out. Be back on Fox 29 this weekend. Adrian, what are you plugging, baby?
Better Birds. Check it out. YouTube. We'll be doing a preview of the game tomorrow, so check that out.
EDP on Mondays?
EDP on Mondays. Mondays with EDP. Yeah.
Mondays with EDP.
Oh, yeah. It's always a riot. Always a great time with that. That's for sure.
Maybe
I'll get on 4th of John, too, again, so got to get that going. Check out that from last night. That was awesome. Really, really fun time with E-Rock and the boys and the gal.
I love it.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right, Adrian Fedke, I'm Sean Brace. This is The Verdict.
Deuces.